Hi, this is Charlie giving you Monday's market commentary and update. Before I go into the actual commentary itself, just want to cover off my latest trade since Friday's trading. I managed to get into another trade on Friday because, like I said, I think I said on Friday, or I mentioned it in our trading room to our traders, that it's not that often when I get the big picture right that I'm wrong. Although you have to, as a trader, accept when you are wrong. But if the market doesn't come down or go counter to your analysis that far, then you have to always leave the door open that the market may actually still be wanting to go in the correct direction. And that's exactly what happened here on Friday. So we had this flush down. This was a Friday where I got caught, but the big picture analysis was that I could see that the market was going to go high. We had a lot of sellers in the market, so I know there's lots of retail sellers. Then usually they're on the wrong side of the market, and there was other reasons as well. Obviously, from a momentum perspective, on the higher time frames, I could see this going higher, and obviously all it was in the end was just a flush down, just a deeper flush than I was expecting. Hence why I had those stop outs. But fortunately, there was a divergence later on in the day, and I managed to get back in and then I had an alert come through last night. I was literally going to bed. I was on the long side. So if we go back to here's where we closed on Friday. So it had already come back up. So I'd got him down just below 70 after a divergence. And so it was sitting up here, and I was looking for the breakout of these highs, and then for us to come up into the prior congestion zone, which is over here, which is exactly where we are right now, as you can see. So, but I wasn't expecting it to do it all in one move like it did. I mean, obviously the market opened and it just shot straight up. I was going to bed, and my phone dinged me alert. I keep alerts on my phone so I can see where the markets are going, if they're going in anywhere in a big fashion, and an alert flashed up. So I knew I better go and have a look at the trade and close it, because it'd come right into that congestion zone. So it was only 3 units. Remember, on Friday I lost 1,500, but on 7 units, and just the power of running your trades, like I always talk about, and you can make it up. So there was me saying last week, obviously underplaying it a little bit about how long it could take me to make that loss back, but actually I've done it already as of Monday morning. So banked £1,788 overnight. So obviously that's I must admit I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting it to drift up today, and then I was going to start to build the position and add to it. So I was actually looking for a slightly bigger position, but this was my first target into the 60 to 70 range, and for now I'm just flat, and I think we could go higher here. Obviously it's on the back of the Summers news, but the market was already coming back up for this pattern play anyway. So I always find that fundamentals seem to catch up with the technicals or whatever anyway. So we've got we're in a position where Euro's flown up, and obviously cable's flown up, yen's come down, and really we're going to be looking for the potential for a little bit more upside. The problem that I have now is that we've now gone to practically negative momentum on the hourly charts, so I can't really do anything with this morning. I've got to let it peter itself out and then look at it a bit later, because it's had such a big move. So we'll see what happens there. Now let's go into the daily charts, because this puts us right back into the territory of the euro potentially coming up for these highs at 134.50, and then potentially obviously beyond that, with the US now becoming a little bit, quite a bit more dovish, with Summers out of the running on the Fed chairmanship. Then there's a good solid fundamental reason to see this euro come out and break out of 134. So I'm going to be looking for more long plays on the euro over the coming days. It's got nice rising momentum on the daily charts as well. So breaking out of this 134 to 134.50 range, with the potential to come back up into the 136 range ultimately. So there's certainly got some potential there. So obviously I'll be wrong on that if it just starts to roll over and come down and starts breaking 132.50. Then we'll change our view on that. And the pound was already having a terrific run anyway. One thing with the pound I think we've got to pay attention to is going to be this trend channel, the upper trend channel, which is not going to be too far away. Another slight shift higher, and we're going to be on the hitting that outer trend channel line. So cable's not got too much further to go to hit resistance. So keep your eye on that trend channel if you've got it. You must have it on your charts, because that is definitely going to come into play. And once it's up there, then you know that it could overshoot it slightly, but it will certainly be a decent piece of resistance there. The Aussie dollar I haven't even looked at yet this morning, but oh yes I have. Yeah, the Aussie obviously it's come up and it's hit that 94 zone. So from that analysis on the Aussie, which I've been looking at for such a long time, it was bang on the analysis. Just missed out on the back end of this. I'd been waiting for a pullback down to the daily bands. It never got down there, as you can see, down to the daily bands, and it's obviously just gone again overnight with the news as well. So not really too much I can do with the Aussie dollar because that really has hit the most of my targets now. It's hit this weekly 21. It's just coming into this monthly bands, and quite often what will happen is the price will come halfway into the bands if it's doing a retrace move. Ultimately, it'll probably want to get up to that upper band. So I do still think that there's more potential with the Aussie dollar yet, but quite often it will then retrace back down and test this lower band, which means it could have a fairly decent retrace on the daily charts, maybe back down to the daily 50, something like that. That would be about right as far as the monthly charts are concerned. So for now, I'm losing interest in the Aussie for long side plays at the moment. It's going to need a deep retrace. So that's that one. But the last market I really want to have a look at today, I guess there's two. The oil, lots of people have been interested in oil. It's really just becoming a choppy mess at the moment. So and I think that actually with oil, it's back down at about 107 this morning, and with that hawkish news coming out, I wonder whether oil is actually going to start to roll over, because lots of people are looking to get on the long side, and maybe too many are trying to get on the long side there. But really, the market I want to look at is this S&P. So now this is obviously closed at the moment, but the futures are already up, and they're up right near, this is the daily chart, right up near to the daily highs over here. If we have a look at the Nasdaq, because this is an interesting correlation, because or non-correlation should I say, because the Nasdaq's obviously, as you can see, has already broken out to more new highs, and yet the S&P has not. So we have got what we call a divergence in place there. The one thing I do have as a overall warning is actually on the weekly chart here. Now I can't show it because it's on my momentum charts, but from this peak here to this peak here, and then even if we go up and make another new high, a third high, we're going to be diverging. So we've got a momentum divergence in place on the weekly time frame. So obviously that's a bigger time frame that can take weeks to play out, but I'm still seeing that. So it allows for another new high, which obviously we could go to now. I've already talked about the market divergences in the breadth divergences, the number of stocks making new highs. So this is a pattern that still is quite ominous that could play out. So yes, we could break to new highs here, but once the excitement rolls over, then I am watching that, and I don't need to rush into it. It's a weekly time frame. What I would then do is then I have to then wait for the daily time frame to then roll over, i.e. the 821 to cross. So at the moment it's fine, it's going up, but that weekly time frame divergence will come into play probably within the next month, I would have thought. So we'll be keeping our eye on that one. Anyway, I shall leave that with you. So plenty of food for thought this week. Euro's looking good for more upside. Cable a bit more upside as well. And Aussie overall, I'd like to see a deeper retrace at some point now. And I haven't even covered off the yen, but that's the S&P for you as well. Have a fabulous couple of days. Kim will be back in touch on Wednesday.